A teacher's detailed blog post about life at a Madison middle school has some parents upset. Hear their concerns and the district's response. That's straight ahead tonight at 6.
The head of the Beloit Police Department is answering questions after a former officer is arrested on sexual assault of a child charges.
And we are live from Columbia County tonight as voters there participate in one of the state's 2 special elections to fill vacant legislative seats.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Parents and one former teacher are raising some concerns tonight about what's going on at a Madison middle school.
Our Keely Arthur shares the complaints and the district's response. Keely?
That's right, and now former teacher has posted a blog claiming a large number of both staff and students are leaving Sherman Middle School in Madison because of the school's leadership.
My son's name is Alexander. He'll be in 8th grade, and my daughter's name is Evelyn, and she'll be in 6th grade.
Middle school isn't always the easiest of times.
Yeah, it's a little tumultuous at that age for those kids.
But parent Heather Banchback says Sherman Middle School's problems go far beyond adolescence.
It's not uncommon to walk by a classroom where teachers are talking in whispers and tears are running down their face, and there's obvious frustration. Of course, some of that could just be a specific child that day, but it happens so frequently that it's hard to always contribute it to some incident that happened that day with a student in the class.
Instead of students, Banchback says the frustrations stem from the top. In a recently published blog gaining a lot of attention online, a former Sherman teacher shares she left because of the leadership, claiming Principal Kristen Foreman's apathetic approach led to unruly students and overworked teachers.
From beginning to end, it was all stuff that I had experienced myself.
The Madison Metropolitan School District sent out its own statement, writing, "Schools sometimes face transitions and challenges. However, the way we work through them defines us as a school community and district." Adding, "We have grave concerns regarding the type of personal public shaming of a principal, in this case a principal of color, that has taken place in recent days." And finally invited parents to give feedback.
It felt very dismissive.
And she's now considering taking her kids to another school.
That's a very tough spot to be because I don't want to give up on the school, but I also want what's best for my kids.
Now, we asked Madison Metropolitan School District leaders for numbers. How many teachers have left? How many students have transferred out of the school? But they have not responded yet to that request.
All right, we will wait and see. Keely Arthur reporting tonight. Keely, thank you.
With some summer-like humidity in the air and more on the way for the weekend, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Eric, at least the temperatures are in the 70s right now. When it's in the 90s this weekend and the humidity levels are even higher than they are now, we're really going to feel the heat and humidity. In fact, we have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday for a high temperature of 90 on Saturday and 92 on Sunday. Heat index values will be from the mid-90s to the lower triple digits, so that's dangerously warm. As we take a look at visible cloud track, we had clouds for much of the day here in southern Wisconsin. There have been some breaks in the northwestern portion of the state. We're still waiting to see if showers and thunderstorms can develop. A few showers up in the upper peninsula of Michigan, but nothing so far to the west of us. But because a cold front will be moving into this very humid air mass, Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms for later tonight into the overnight hours, north and west of Madison, and a moderate or a marginal risk to our south and east. Low temperatures this morning because of the high humidity and some fog. Temperatures started out in the middle 60s here in Madison at 65-degree reading, 10 degrees above normal. High temperatures right about average, but cloud cover kept them from being even warmer than they are now. Current temperatures are in the middle 70s, but dew point temperatures are in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. By tomorrow morning, after a round of showers and thunderstorms tonight, skies will start clearing out. Temperatures will start out in the lower 60s, but end up around 80 with less humidity for the day tomorrow. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Milwaukee prosecutors filed a dozen charges today against a man suspected of leading police on a deadly high-speed chase. An officer involved in the chase died last week when his vehicle rolled several times. The suspected driver is accused of going nearly 100 miles per hour shortly before the squad car crashed. One witness told police he saw the car flip about 20 times before landing on its roof. 23-year-old officer Charles Irvine Jr. died. His partner, who was driving the squad car, was also injured.
A retired Beloit police officer has been charged with repeated sexual assault of a child. 62-year-old Larry Woods was in Rock County Court, excuse me, for the first time today. Police say a 14-year-old girl's mother reported on Saturday that Woods sexually assaulted her daughter.
Woods retired from the Beloit Police Department back in 2007 and was currently serving as a security guard for the school district and for the Beloit Public Library. Police say the FBI might now get involved in this case because Woods allegedly drove the teen across state lines to have sex.
We will likely be in touch with our federal partners to have them review this matter to see if it's an issue that they may also want to take notice of as well.
The school district says Woods was not working during summer school, and the library says he has been placed on administrative leave. A new development today in an overdose death in Rock County. The district attorney there will not press charges in the fatal overdose in the town of Beloit. Our Rock County reporter Adam Duxter live in our bureau there at the Janesville Gazette to tell us why. Adam?
Eric, today the district attorney determined there was not enough information to charge Corey Sandoval in the drug-related death of Dustin Grice. Now, Grice was found dead behind Townview Elementary School in May from what police say is a suspected drug overdose. Shortly after, police arrested Corey Sandoval for failing to provide aid to a victim. Even though the charges against Sandoval were dropped, police say they are not giving up on the case.
We need to look at the case. We need to look at who we need to talk to, and if there's any aspect that we're able to file new arrest charges, then we'll do so.
Northrop told News 3 previously that he believes Grice likely would have survived had someone been there to help. And Northrop also told us today that the autopsy could provide him and his team new information they could possibly use to make an arrest. All
right, Adam Duxter, our Rock County Bureau. Adam, thank you.
There's an opportunity for people of color who live in Janesville to talk directly with the police chief and officers. The Janesville Gazette reports the town hall style meetings are meant to open the lines of communication between African Americans living in the city and the officers assigned to keeping them safe. Police Chief David Moore hopes the meetings will help build trust over time. The next meeting is set for 6 o'clock tomorrow at All Saints Anglican Catholic Church. K-9 Cody with the Lafayette County Sheriff's Office is retiring. He served Lafayette County since 2009. Cody is the second officer the department's had since it started 16 years ago. Department leaders say Cody has been dealing with some health issues this past year, and the search for a new home only took a few hours. The department posted about finding Cody a new home this morning and updated it hours later saying he was spoken for.
You may want to think through flying your drone within the city limits in Madison. A new ordinance proposed by the Common Council would have local governments following the rules of the state. Misuse under state law could be anything from using a drone to invade someone's privacy or using the drone as a weapon, and those violations come with fines ranging from $500 to $2,000. Some argue city officials still wouldn't have the authority to issue any citations. The proposal will be brought forward at the public safety meeting tomorrow. And Madison city leaders are also meeting right now to talk about how much money the city collected after increasing its hotel tax. In October, the sales tax rate increased from 9% to 10% on city hotels to help the Greater Madison Visitors Bureau balance its budget. That increase, which also affects bookings through Airbnb, was projected to generate $1.8 million in revenue for the Visitors Bureau.
There are two special legislative elections taking place in the state right now involving one of the districts in our area.
We are live from Columbia County as voters cast their ballots there to fill a vacant seat in the state assembly. Stay with us.
For some voters in our area, tonight is an election night. The 42nd Assembly District seat became vacant more than 5 months ago.
That's when Representative Keith Ripp resigned so he could serve in the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. Our Rose Schmidt live in Lodi to tell us more about this race for that open seat. Rose?
Well, Republican John Plummer told me his goal was to shake every hand in this legislative district. And Democrat Ann Groves-Lloyd says she's hoping to ride the blue wave. She's worked at UW-Madison for more than 30 years and actually just retired this year. She's also an alder for Lodi. Plummer is a Lodi Town Board member, serves on the EMS Commission, and owns his own karate studio here in town. This legislative district covers most of Columbia County and parts of 5 other counties. Voter turnout in Lodi is higher than usual for this type of race. We asked some voters why they chose to cast their ballot today.
It's my civil right, and I served the United States Army, so I just want to keep it going.
They stop by my door like constantly, so I've already made up my mind, but I'm not going to share it.
Plummer and Groves-Lloyd have been very visible around this area with flyers, signs, and ads on TV and radio. Gene Rubenstein of Partyville is also running as an independent in this race. Now, the polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight, both here and in northeastern Wisconsin, where there is a state Senate race. Tune in to News 3 at 10 for the latest election results, and check back in with our website, channel3000.com.
We will have the numbers. Rose Schmidt live in Lodi. Rose, thank you.
New at 6, the political group formed by former President Barack Obama says it is targeting Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker and the congressional district currently represented by House Speaker Paul Ryan. Organization for Action announced its target races nationwide today. The group is also working to elect enough Democrats to flip control of the state Senate to Democrats. Republicans hold an 18-14 majority with 1 vacancy.
Straight ahead at 6, the new Peregrine Falcon chicks share a special connection to Madison.
And he lives more than 1,000 miles away, but that's not stopping one boy from supporting officers in our area. We're highlighting his efforts next at 6.
Today's humidity could lead to some thunderstorms tonight. Tomorrow and Thursday should be less humid and comfortable, but heat and humidity really build for the weekend. I'll have your first alert forecast in a few minutes.
Welcome back. A fifth grader from Florida is honoring police officers all around the country. And today he stopped by the Madison and McFarland police departments with donuts. 10-year-old Tyler Karach is known as Donut Boy, and he's visiting departments all over the country, thanking officers for serving their communities. And so far, he has delivered about 65,000 donuts to officers in more than 30 states. Tyler says his favorite part about Wisconsin is thanking the officers and
to try some cheese.
Have you tried cheese yet?
Nope. What is a cheese curl?
Cheese curd?
Yeah, I've never.
It's like fried cheese. So they put it in.
And it's like a circle thing of cheese.
Yep.
Bread. I'm going to try that.
Somebody needs to give him some circle things with cheese, some curds. Tyler says he hopes to personally deliver a donut to every one of the 900,000 officers all over the United States. He also hopes to become an officer himself someday.
Talk about doing something good right there. The 4 peregrine falcon chicks born at a Madison power station have some pretty sweet names. Meet Babcock, Neutrino, Crazy Legs, and Barry. Babcock is named after the famed UW-Madison food scientist who developed the first test that successfully determined the fat content of milk, while Neutrino, Crazy Legs, and Barry are named after 3 flavors of ice cream produced by the dairy plant. The Falcons were born late last month at Madison Gas and Electric's Blount Generating Station. Around 40 Falcons have been born at this plant since 2009.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now, detailing the humidity that's been out there, but they're really going to feel it come weekend time.
You know, the humidity that we have now, a lot of it is because of the rain that we had this past weekend. You know, you warm things up and it evaporates the air, moisture into the air. But we'll have more humidity as we head toward the weekend. Just a little bit of a break in between. For the weekend, though, I've got high temperatures around 90 on Saturday. Record high for Madison is 93, set back in 1994. Sunday's high, predicted high is 92, record high 95, also set back in 1994. So it could be very close to record high temperatures. Heat index values between 95 and 100 on Saturday and 97 to 102 on Sunday. That gets up into the dangerous range, so we have alert days in the forecast. Visible cloud track. Right now, things pretty quiet across the state. Even though there are a lot of clouds, there was more sunshine in the eastern parts of the state, the northwestern part of the state clearing ahead of a cold front. But so far, we haven't seen much in the way of thunderstorm activity there. The reason is the temperatures are pretty uniform. They're mainly in the mid to upper 70s thanks to the cloud cover. Starting to get a little warmer to the north and west, where they're starting to get a little sunshine through. But if you take a look at the dew points, you can really pick out where that cold front is, because ahead of the cold front, dew points are in the mid-60s in northern Wisconsin, near 70 here in the southern part of the state. But notice behind the front, those dew points drop off quite a bit, so the air does dry out. And as that cold front moves into the increasingly humid air across southern Wisconsin, we may see some thunderstorms develop. Right now, the winds are pretty light here, but notice they do shift to a west and northwesterly direction out toward the Twin Cities. So somewhere in here is where that front is, and as that pushes southeastward, we could see some thunderstorms develop later on tonight. Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms north and west of Madison. Hail and high winds would be the main threats, and a marginal risk to the east of Madison, but it's not a for certain thing whether or not thunderstorms will even develop. There probably will be some, but whether or not they become severe also in question. Right now, nothing really going on out there. Looks like a shower trying to develop across parts of northwestern Wisconsin. We could see some pretty rapid shower and thunderstorm development later on this evening into the overnight hours. Right now, nothing close to southern Wisconsin, maybe a little tiny sprinkle there over northeastern Dane County, and that has pretty much dissipated. As we look at the high temperature trend, though, no doubt the temperatures will be going back up. Sunshine will get temperatures around 80 for the next couple of days, and then we're around 90 or above for the weekend, and with high humidity, it'll feel a lot warmer than that. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, starting to see the clouds thin out a little bit on the horizon there. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison, still pretty cloudy here. As we check out the almanac, the low temperature this morning, 65 degrees. That's 10 degrees above the average high of, or low of 55. Our high temperature so far today, 78 degrees, about where it should be. We're at 75 now. Skies are cloudy, but the humidity pretty high at 79%. The dew point temperature is in the upper 60s, and that's where you really start to feel it. So our forecast for tonight calls for skies to be mostly cloudy. We'll see a period of showers and thunderstorms probably around midnight, give or take an hour or two. Low temperature around 60. Then for tomorrow, it'll be sunny and warm, but less humid. humid, high temperature around 80 degrees. As you look on future track, watch how quickly these showers and storms develop and then move on through, and skies will be clearing by tomorrow morning with low temperatures around 60. Lots of sunshine for tomorrow, less humidity, high temperatures around 80. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. High pressure goes almost directly over us. Low temperatures in the upper 50s, and then back to the low 80s with partly sunny skies on Thursday. But notice the winds by that time out of the south, and as you take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures continue to go up around 90 for the weekend, and we could be looking at temperatures in the 80s for much of next week.
Well, after an early end to their state run last year, Waunakee looking for redemption this season. Highlights from the WIAA State Baseball Tournament. That's next in sports. Well, Waunakee kicking off the action at Fox City Stadium bright and early this morning at the WIAA State Baseball Tournament. RJ Wilson has a recap from the Warriors quarterfinal win.
Waunakee was still smarting from an exit in the first game at state last year, and it looked like the Warriors would make up for it this year. Jared Feger's run-scoring double helped Waunakee to a 5-0 lead on Eau Claire North in the 4th inning, but the Huskies rallied not once but twice to tie the game at 5 and then again at 7 in the top of the 6th. But Waunakee's bats continue to pound a staff that had a 1.63 earned run average on the season. Riley Ripp's RBI single got the Warriors the lead again, and Ben Nordloh's 2-run double gave him a little breathing room. Waunakee advances to the Division I semifinals with a 12-8 win.
It was a very stressful ball game. You know, we've played in a few games like this. It was a nail-biter, and we're a group of gritty guys. We've been here before, so we know what we had to do to get the job done.
Last night we got here, went over to Appleton North, got some BP, got to play some pepper, and I think just that atmosphere last night of letting us have fun and being able to enjoy the environment and not be so uptight and coming out here and just playing baseball with your friends was kind of the key to that.
Even though Waunakee used all 3 of its top pitchers in the quarterfinal game, head coach Spencer Lee told me that all 3 will be available for the semifinal game tonight. At the WIAA State Baseball Tournament in Grand Chute, Jay Wilson, News 3 Sports.
All right, Jay, thank you. Wanakee will face Green Bay Preble in the semifinals tonight. More Division I quarterfinal action. Janesville Craig facing Milwaukee King. Third inning action here. Tresson Kussmaul with the RBI single, bringing Luke Malminger home. Cougars up 4-0. Now, Craig pitcher Micah Overly mowing him down, striking out King's Kashawn Nelson here. And Janesville Craig beats Milwaukee King 8-0. Cougars will face Arrowhead in the semifinals, which should get underway shortly. Well, minicamp also underway in Green Bay, and safety HaHa Clinton-Dix making an appearance after not doing so at OTAs last week. Today, he told reporters that he didn't come because his godmother passed away, so he chose to be with his family over the last few weeks. Meanwhile, 16 other veteran players excused from minicamp this week. The Packers are conducting 3 practices through Thursday, which head coach Mike McCarthy hopes the younger players will take advantage of.
This is a huge opportunity. It's really the same message I gave the players this morning and last Thursday is, you know, we got to take a jump as a football team. You see it every year. The young guys, you know, start to figure it out. It's a little unbalanced because, you know, we're a little low at receiver and you have certain positions, but this is a great opportunity for young players.
Well, Chase Anderson will start on the mound tonight against Tyler Chatwood in Game 2 of the series between the Cubs and Brewers. Now, the Brewers are now half a game behind the Cubs in the NL Central standings because, well, this happened last night. Tie ball game in the 11th inning until Anthony Rizzo powers that Matt Albers pitch out to right field. Opening up a 5-run inning there, Cubs win in extras 7-2, the final score. Well, it's Championship Parade Tuesday. First off, Steph Curry and the Warriors parading down the streets of downtown Oakland to commemorate back-to-back NBA titles. Third in 4 years for Golden State, as you can tell by the crowd. They really it hasn't gotten old for them yet either. MVP Kevin Durant popping some bottles from the victory buses while other players got down with the fans in the crowd. And the summer of Ovi continues. The Washington Capitals captain and his teammates celebrating the team's first ever Stanley Cup, and well, pretty much the entire city of Washington, D.C. came out to mark the occasion. The parade went throughout downtown D.C. and ended in a rally on the National Mall. It's the city's first major professional sports title in 26 years. Now, Alex Ovechkin, I feel like, is having the time of his life, living his best life, I feel like, so far in the last couple of days.
That Stanley Cup championship meant a lot to those fans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can tell.
In the D.C. area, that's been big.
Helps when you have a mall, too, to celebrate like that.
And Gary's still celebrating that Rizzo's home run ball just landed.
That's okay.
It just landed.
Well, we've got some thunderstorms starting to develop in Iowa. Notice a couple flashes of lightning right there at the end. Again, a severe weather threat to our north and west for tonight. Current temperatures mid-70s here. Dew point temperatures are in the upper 60s, so it's very humid out there. But look for thunderstorm chances to end tonight. Dry weather for the next couple of days, heat for the weekend, and warm weather for next week.
All right, go Brewers, Gary. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening. We'll see you at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.